Ladies and gentlemen, there is something dangerous happening in our world today. It's not war, it's not disease, it's not even poverty. It is something far more subtle, yet far more destructive. It is the death of dreams. We were never created just to exist. We were born with purpose, a reason for being, a destiny wrapped in eternity. The tragedy of life is not death, but life without purpose. A life without a dream is like a ship without a compass. It floats, it drifts, but it never arrives. You were born with purpose, not by accident. This truth is the foundation of everything you are meant to become. Before your first breath, before your name was ever spoken, there was a divine intention for your life. You are not here just to fill space, live, work, eat, and die. You were sent to Earth with something the world needs. Inside of you is a unique combination of gifts, talents, passions, and potential that no one else carries. That means your presence matters. Your life is significant not because of your name, your background, or your achievements, but because of your design. When you look around and see the chaos, the confusion, the challenges in the world, don't just see problems, see opportunities. You are the solution wrapped in flesh. You are the answer to a question someone is asking. The challenge is that most people never discover this. They live beneath their potential because they never truly believe they were created with purpose. They let their circumstances, their past, or the opinions of others convince them they are ordinary. But you were never made to be ordinary. You were made to be purposeful. Purpose gives life direction. It gives pain meaning. It gives effort value. Without purpose, people wander. They work without passion, live without joy, and die without legacy. But once a person discovers that they were born on purpose and for a purpose, everything changes. They stop measuring themselves by what others are doing and start measuring themselves by what they were born to do. That is the secret to a fulfilled life, not just existing, but living with intentionality, clarity, and vision. You weren't sent here to mimic others. You were sent to fulfill something only you can do. Small dreams insult your creator. You were crafted by an infinite mind with limitless capacity, and to think small is to deny the magnitude of that design. When you settle for mediocrity, you reject the very essence of the greatness placed within you. You were not designed to simply survive, to live within the borders of fear or familiarity. The fingerprints of creativity, intelligence, and power are all over your being. Playing it safe may feel comfortable, but it is not where your potential lies. Playing small doesn't honor the one who placed something extraordinary inside you. Every great achievement in history began as a dream, an idea in the heart of someone who dared to think bigger than their environment, their limitations, or their current reality. You were born with the same capacity to imagine, to believe, and to build something that transcends the ordinary. When your dream is small enough for you to achieve without growth, without sacrifice, or without faith, then it does not stretch you. And what doesn't stretch you cannot transform you. Big dreams challenge your identity. They force you to confront fear, to develop discipline, and to seek something higher than comfort. Small dreams often come from wounds, rejection, failure, fear of being misunderstood. But healing opens the door to vision. Big dreams are not about ego. They are about impact. They are not for applause, but for purpose. When you dream big, you align yourself with the very reason you exist. You were given imagination so you could see beyond what is, and faith so you could reach for what could be. Limiting your dreams is like hiding a treasure in the ground. You weren't given vision to keep it locked inside. You were given vision so you could release something the world has never seen. Your background doesn't limit your destiny. Where you come from may shape your story, but it does not define your future. Too many people allow their origin to become their ceiling. They believe that because they were born into poverty, brokenness, or obscurity, they are bound to remain there. But history proves otherwise. Some of the most impactful people on earth rose from places of pain, lack, and rejection. They chose to see their background not as a curse, but as preparation. Your environment may have influenced your start, but it has no power to dictate your finish unless you surrender it that power. You were not meant to be a prisoner of your past. Every setback, every limitation, every difficult experience you've endured can serve as fuel for your vision. If you refuse to let it paralyze you, greatness often emerges from pressure. Diamonds are formed in darkness. Trees grow their deepest roots in storms. In the same way, your background can build resilience, develop character, and awaken hunger. It can give you insight others don't have, and passion that pushes you to break barriers others accept. Destiny does not consult your resume. It is not looking at your family name, your financial status, or the labels placed on you by society. What matters is not where you started, but what you choose to do with where you are. Some are born into opportunity, but waste it. Others are born into struggle, but rise from it. The difference is not the background, it's the belief. When you truly understand that your origin is just the beginning of your story, you stop using it as an excuse and start using it as a foundation. You stop waiting for validation and start walking in vision. Your background is a chapter, not the whole book. The graveyard is full of unrealized potential. It is the most valuable real estate on earth, not because of what is built there, but because of what is buried there. Buried beneath the soil are books that were never written, songs that were never sung, ideas that were never expressed, businesses that were never launched, and inventions that never saw the light of day. Dreams died there, not because they were impossible, but because the dreamers gave up, got distracted, or never believed they were worthy of pursuing them. They lived with vision in their hearts, but fear in their minds. Potential that is never used becomes wasted treasure. Every human being is born with something the world needs, but when that gift is never activated, the world loses something irreplaceable. The tragedy is not in dying, but in dying full of talent, full of possibilities, full of answers that never made it into action. People often wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect support. But life doesn't wait for perfection, it responds to action. The people in the grave had time just like you. What they didn't have was the courage to act on what was placed inside them. Fear, procrastination, and self-doubt are the silent killers of potential. They convince people to postpone, to settle, or to conform. They tell them their dreams are too big, too strange, too unrealistic, and so, little by little, the fire dies. But inside every person is a deposit of greatness, a seed that must be planted, watered, and released. If it stays buried inside, it returns to the ground unused. The graveyard becomes heavier each time someone leaves this world without giving birth to what was inside them. The weight of lost purpose is greater than any failure. Dreams require discipline, not just desire. Desire is the spark, but discipline is the firewood that keeps the vision burning. Everyone has a dream, an inner picture of a life they want to live or a goal they long to achieve. But dreams alone do not manifest into reality. It is the consistent, often unseen effort behind the scenes that gives dreams their shape and substance. Discipline is the bridge between what you see in your heart and what you hold in your hands. It is the daily decision to keep going when motivation fades and excitement wears off. Desire can make you start, but discipline is what makes you finish. People often get inspired for a moment, write down big plans, make bold declarations, and then fall back into comfort. That's because dreaming is easy, doing is hard. Discipline demands structure. It demands sacrifice. It tells you to wake up early, to stay late, to study while others sleep, to practice while others play. It tells you to say no to distractions, to delay gratification, and to push past your feelings. Discipline does not ask for comfort, it demands commitment. A dream without discipline becomes a fantasy. But when discipline is added, that dream becomes a mission. It moves from your imagination into your reality. Every champion, every inventor, every world changer you admire didn't just dream, they submitted themselves to a process. They endured seasons of silence, failure, correction, and growth. They built habits that carried them when inspiration ran dry. If you truly believe in your dream, you must prove it through your actions. Your daily choices reveal whether your dream is a wish or a vision. Passion may excite the crowd, but discipline builds the legacy that stands long after the applause ends. You are not too late to start. Time may have passed, seasons may have changed, and opportunities may have been missed, but the possibility of purpose remains. Delay is not denial. Just because something didn't happen when you expected doesn't mean it can't happen now. Many people disqualify themselves because they think they've wasted too much time or made too many mistakes. But purpose is not limited by your calendar. Destiny is not controlled by your age. As long as you are breathing, There is still potential waiting to be activated. Starting late does not mean starting wrong. Some of the most impactful people in history began their true calling in the second half of life. The first half may have been filled with confusion, detours, or preparation. But what matters most is not when you start, it's that you start. Regret over lost time can paralyze you, but reflection can propel you if you let it teach you. Your experiences, even the painful ones, can become fuel for your future if you choose to rise instead of retreat. The enemy of progress is not time, it is hesitation. Waiting for the perfect moment often becomes the excuse that keeps people from ever moving. You may not have the same energy, the same resources, or the same surroundings as before, but you still have a mind, a voice, and a vision. Those are enough to begin again. Every step forward now is worth more than a lifetime of wishing. The longer you wait, the heavier regret becomes, but the moment you act, you break that weight. Starting today may not erase yesterday, but it can rewrite tomorrow. Don't measure yourself by the speed of others. Measure yourself by the strength of your next decision. Every great story has a turning point.